Today, hitting a $2,000 day red. We lost $2,000. I'm not going to let it get bigger. I'm not going to let it grow. We were down 1,000, and then I was like, well, maybe I can get back. And then we took some small scalps, and then ended up just adding up and adding up and adding up. And overall, the market just super choppy today. We're going to talk about kind of what went down and the reason of why I shouldn't keep trading and why I'm going to walk away right now. I'm walking away in the red, but we're also winning because we're not going to lose any more money today. You know, we're totally fine knowing that, you know, on a good day, we're making $2,000, $3,000 profit. On our worst day, we're not going to lose more than we're making in one day. That's the big thing here. Like, I can't afford to lose more than I make in one day. If I'm going to lose $1,000, well, I better make sure I make more than $1,000 in a day. If I'm going to lose $2,000 in a day, well, I better make sure that I'm making more than $2,000 in a day. So we're going to talk about it right here in the video, the emotions, the ideas, the market super choppy today, and all that fun stuff. A red day recap, baby. Let's go. All right, so you can see on the day down $1,948. See here on the ES chart just how choppy it is, especially here at the end of the day. Like, I've been trying to make some trades inside of here thinking we'd push back above 70s, but it's super choppy just so we're not getting that price action that we need to really kind of get those good moves. This move right here, not so bad, but still like just not a beautiful overall move. I mean, you had a lot of resistance in this area. The chop was real today. Maybe you got long from the 77s, push up there to the 90s. You know, you had the MACD cross, things like that. But like, again, you know, it's always in hindsight, it's easy to sit here and say what I could have, should have done. We had some little bounces, you know, overall, but just a really overall just bad trading day for me. And I think the biggest lesson today, you know, is don't trade the chop. When the market's chopping, I mean, you look at this thing. If you look at the bigger time frame, look where we're at. I mean, the market's literally just going sideways right now. I mean, we're back to this bottom. So tomorrow, the idea is maybe we start to push back up overnight. You know, they'll squeeze up overnight here. We'll see what happens. But the lesson of the day is don't trade the chop. Don't trade the chop. And we know that, you know. So I think it's good. It's good to kind of remind myself to go back through it and experience, you know, what happens if I break the rules. If I break the rules, what happens, Patrick? Like, you're going to get bad results. So a great example of that today. I missed out on a few trades that maybe would have been good setups, but in general, I think the chop was just insane. I mean, you look here at the 15-minute chart today. This is the market. I mean, we opened here at the 84s. We're at 72 right now. So, I mean, we really haven't moved. I mean, we've barely moved. We went sideways. We bounced around, had a few little pops, but in general, pretty choppy, pretty crappy action. And I'm going to walk away down $1,900 a day. So I'm going to take the red day and just have to walk. I don't want to let that red day, you know, maybe I could get back to green. Maybe, you know, maybe I fight it. Maybe I try to get back to green here end of day. We get this push above the 70s, maybe up to the 80s. Maybe I could do that. But do I really want to like battle that and take a chance that I'm going to lose more and then, you know, get to the point where I'm like literally flirting with my max loss on the day kind of thing? I think it's better just to walk away with the $2,000 loss than try to get back to green and then end up being down, you know, 3,000 on the day. So instead of giving back profits, I'm just going to write it off as like, hey, you know, we got to take a red day sometimes. One thing that I do want to focus on here is that, you know, none of my losses were big losses. Like, I didn't have any big major losses, but I just kind of got chopped up. There's a lot of just choppy action. I was able to manage, you know, the risk to reward, but, you know, I think maybe the few trades where I was up $500, $600, like, there had a few trades where I was up in the green on a choppy day like today. I probably should have just taken profit instead of trying to wait for those bigger moves. You know, when the market's only moving 5 points per candle, well, then I probably shouldn't be expecting a 20-point move and expecting some big move up. So that's a good lesson as well. You know, when the market's choppy, just kind of take profits, or, you know, really like just don't even trade it. That's probably, like I talked about earlier, like the best thing to do is probably not even trade it. Like, there's nothing wrong with just literally not making trades. So that's a trade in itself. Like, the biggest thing for trading is knowing when to not trade. Today, you know, it adds up quickly. It's the issue, is like you take a $100 loss, $200 loss, and you do that over and over. It's pretty quick to add up, and you end up, you know, down $2,000 on the day. So I'm going to take the red day. I'm going to be totally fine with that. I'm going to walk away. Tomorrow's a new day. We're taking a red day today. Tomorrow's going to be green. Friday's going to be green. Monday's going to be green. We're going to be green, green, green. But the big focus here is, again, consistency. You know, on average, what is my winning trade day? On average, my winning trade day is $2,000, $3,000. Today was a bit of a battle. Like, I was down 1,000. I was like, oh, I can, you know, maybe get back to green here, and I can have battling it. But ended up battling it there. So, you know, I kind of let that grow a little bit bigger, but like, that's my max loss. Like, I can't afford to lose more than I win, right? I can never afford to lose more in one day than I normally make in one day. So if I'm making $2,000 a day, there's no way that I can afford to lose more than $2,000 because I don't want to give back more than one day profit. Like 100%, like I do not want to give back more than one day profit. So again, consistency, you know, owning the fact that we're going to have red days. It's part of the process. We're going to go through it. We're going to lose money. And that's just part of trading. Like, you understand that. And I'm proud of myself that I was able to just cut it off, walk away, take the loss. And also proud that I didn't have like any big losses. You know, I didn't hope and pray. There was no me sitting here just like hoping and praying that we were going to have a big move and then I end up getting out for a $3,000 loss or something like that. So I'm happy on that. Like, I know that we're moving forward, that we're learning, that we're getting better every day. And that's part of it, right? Like, knowing that, like, hey, in the past, you know, on a red day, I would have like big losses. I'd have like $1,000 loss, $2,000 loss on a red day. But today I look at it, I'm like, well, you know, hey, my maximum loss on the day, you know, some of those trades, like I was only losing $200 per trade. So, you know, I can handle that. Like, my max loss on the day was literally $400. And that's totally like and that's totally in line with my overall strategy. Like, that's my overall risk to reward. You know, I'm risking $400, $500 per trade to make over $1,000 per trade. So the risk to reward was there. It's just that the market was really choppy. I had plenty of opportunities where I was up $400, $500. I probably should have taken profit. Probably could have, you know, gotten back to like flat on the day, but I kept looking for those bigger moves. So again, you know, it's kind of adjusting my thought process and adjusting my targets, knowing that the market's super choppy and the market's not making those big moves. So there it is. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like buttons, all the buttons down below. I will talk to you guys later on.